Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara. All relations. Let's get started with today's video. We are going to be speaking about a question that I want to answer. I want to answer Paul, who had asked a question in a YouTube comment. And I think this is a very crucial one to understand because there's a lot of fear-mongering instead of love-mongering going on about Kundalini experiences, okay? Now, Kundalini psychosis, I believe, happens when you forget to ground, when you forget to remind yourself that you are on the earth plane, grounding, feeling safe within the body, right? Otherwise, you're giving up at level 1, right? Because the level 1 is the root chakra, and there you have a fear of dying, fear of growth, a fear that keeps you actually blocked and trapped. So you're not wrong in your assumption, but you are being moved by fear, right? So that's the first thing to understand. The thing is, Paul, a lot of people want the God juice without the God responsibility. So you live in an instant gratification culture where you want bliss instantly, right? Just like here in India, we have Swiggy, Zomato, right? Blinkit, all of these different apps, right, that bring us food and deliveries, just like you have Postmates over there in the US, right? Or you have, what are the other delivery services around the world, man? Uber Eats, right? Whatever you use, okay? So it's instantaneous, right? So this is actually the fear, is that a lot of people, they try to poke Kundalini to rapidly ascend. It's like a premature ejaculation, right? Bad pun, really bad pun. Ignore that one. But yeah, let's tear this myth open. I think I'm excited to break this down. Thank you for the question and the curiosity. I wouldn't give up chakra work altogether. I would just slow it down. Slow your journey down, slow your roll, son. Okay? You don't need to rush to the end of the finish line. You need to enjoy the movie of your spiritual journey. And Kundalini is fantastic because it brings out all of the best parts of you. And what most people experience as psychosis or fear is trauma exiting, escaping through the body. Okay? So this is, of course, this is my perspective. Read the disclaimer, okay? But I truly believe that healing yourself of your traumas will help you activate your Kundalini. Okay? Now, you have to still move energy around, which is why somatic work comes down to it, right? Because trauma gets trapped in the body too, not just the mental. So this is why we need a mind, body, and spirit approach, according to me. So understand a few things, brother. Kundalini is not good or bad. It's neutral. It's primordial life force. Is primordial life force good or bad? Wrong or right? Up or down? It just is. Think of electricity. It either lights up your house or fries out the circuits. So that means the power is neutral and the channel determines its effect. So power is neutral. And when your nadis are blocked or your meridians aren't flowing properly, that serpent coiled within has got to reach some resistance. So yeah, breakdown can occur. Sure. But blaming Kundalini is like blaming water for drowning you. It's its nature. And an incredible statement that I heard last night from channeling Padmasambhava. Right? Let's see a little clip of it right here. Okay? This is not weakness. It's a mastery I'm teaching you. A flame cannot be burned. Remember this statement. A flame cannot be burned. Constant faith is the refusal to betray your own awareness. It is carrying the Vajra of certainty through every realm. Heaven, hell, market, battlefield. It does not break when praised. It does not shrink when attacked. How powerful is that? Bro, if you raise Kundalini, you're gonna go insane. Do you see the projection in that? This fear exists because people bypass preparation. They treat Kundalini like it's some kind of a party trick instead of a sacred fire. If you take someone who eats garbage food, drowns in TikTok memes, represses trauma, barely ever breathes properly, never meditates, never prays, never does any breath work, right? And then they try to force the energy in their spine? You're in for a rude awakening then. But it's good, like the energy of the fire is burning all the traumas as it's going through it, right? And so sometimes you have to rest, you have to learn where to rest your energy on this path, okay? There's many ways to do this. And it's helpful to know what your dominant chakra is, okay? I truly believe in this concept because I believe our lives are all different and unique. They're not the same, okay? So I love the color orange. I'm more so the sacral chakra path. I'm hyper creative, right? I post videos daily. Hyper creative. So I'm chimed into that sacral essence. But understand that madness is not the serpent. It's the ego fighting its own death. The snake is just burning the lies out of you, right? So yes, it makes you dangerous, but it makes you dangerous because you are now a glitch in the matrix. They cannot put you in a box or clone you or ship you off somewhere or, create rules and boundaries around you. You are a free individual, a sovereign being. And this is the beauty of Kundalini. Now, of course, this is popularized and, the West loves to just use this term like they use the word quantum, right? In a conversation in Gaia Fest or Mind Valley, right? But these practices never just said, just breathe and follow light, right? They said, take ethics and vows to purify the subconscious mind so it's not holding on to all this debt, this like repressed sludge, right? Which hijacks that inner fire from ever awakening. So then the next thing they said is body purification, right? Now, of course, these aren't hard and fast rules according to me, but you can do it how you want to. Diet, yoga, fasting, celibacy, whatever it is you're doing, right? To purify the body. They talked about breath control, mantra work. Personally, I love the concept of deity yoga and using the yidams or the deities to work with, to connect with this. And if you're Christian, then you can use the Christ light as a symbolism, because Christos, the Greek word, means oil, okay? So it's the oil that secretes from the brain. And so you can use these concepts together, right? There's no sense of separation. Don't create more separation because that's going to create more fear. You want to find your oneness, your wholeness, your connectedness, and just take it slow. Take it really slow, okay? There's no rush to the end of the finish line. It can be a beautiful journey if you just slow down and you take your time and you persevere and you go through the ages, right? Because at a certain age, sometimes it happens for people, right? So it's important for you to understand, like, a lot of people take like entheogens and substances to try to awaken it. Other people will do like Kundalini yoga, right? Other people will try to invent their own methods or go their own way, right? So it's very important for you to understand why you were doing this, right? I think it's good to just get started with some minimal spiritual practices as a beginner and not rush to the end of the finish line. That's my understanding of it. And finding a mentor lineage is good, only because, you want help when you're having some kind of Kundalini psychosis, right? The mentors know because they've been there before. So mentors, gurus, guides. But if you jump into nuclear physics with a kindergarten mind, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to, mess yourself up. Because the mind can either help us dissect as a weapon of our intellect, or it can just chop us to pieces, right? We got to know how to channel that inner primordial fire within. But bro, society is terrified of self-awakened humans, okay? And this is why they're pouring fear at you. Because a person who has Kundalini awakened, they're immune to marketing, hypnosis, any kind of religious fear or like political manipulation. They've transcended that. Of course, they're going to exaggerate the stories, right? With false claims. Your brain will get fried. What? You'll go insane. Okay? Is the world very sane? Look around you, right? Maybe going insane is the way we need to be, right? But no, I'm just, of course, I'm not promoting that. But what I am saying is just be aware of the labels that you're placing on yourself, because they become your shackles too, okay? You have to understand how to relabel if need be, if necessary, okay? Kundalini has been demonized for centuries, okay? Centuries. There can be nervous system overload, psychic flooding of imagery and sensations and sounds and things like this. Seeing archetypes or hearing voices without grounding, right? I think grounding is ultimately the tool for anybody who's experiencing Kundalini psychosis, okay? You really need to spend time in nature, ground your feet into the grass, wiggle your toes, clench your calf muscles, do the horse stance of martial arts, bring all the grounding techniques into one. Okay, and give yourself a grounding practice. It's so key and important for heady people who spend a lot of their time in their minds instead of in their bodies, okay? So most people don't tell you this. Kundalini awakenings actually happen in microdoses, right? At least from my own experience. Every deep meditation, every time your spine feels shivers up it, every time you have an orgasm, that's Kundalini trickling. So just train the nervous system, okay? You're scared because you've been told a half-truth without any context. It can trigger imbalance if somebody is reckless, okay, in their behavior. But I think fear itself is the first block in the root chakra. It keeps the serpent coiled. And guess what? Respect dissolves fear. So start respecting your primal nature. Start respecting it, revering it, right? Your ability to just go with your instincts, your natural instincts. It's like if I try surfing, let's say, and I approach the water with fear, with terror, that's what I will experience because I'm setting the container. But if I trained that for a very long time, that same wave I was afraid of on day one, I could probably master by day 400 or whatever. So don't ask, is Kundalini dangerous? Ask, am I building the kind of warrior who can wield nuclear godfire with absolute grace? That's the path. Kundalini isn't the danger. Unpreparedness is the danger. Ignorance is the danger. Impatience is the danger. So you're not wrong for being cautious, Paul, okay? It's good to be mindful before stepping into anything, but don't be paralyzed by the fear. You can still do chakra work. You can spend time in each chakra point, building it up as energy reservoirs. So when the time hits, you're prepared. Honor the body, honor the mind, do your shadow work. And when this energy rises, hopefully it won't be madness for you, it will be gnosis. Knowledge, wisdom. Not insanity, but clarity that this broken world is terrified of. So I know the serpent has been demonized, but the serpent within, it's your birthright. Just learn to dance with them. Let's get it today, Upward Spiral gang. Thank you so much for tapping in. Great question, man. Yeah, gave me a lot to think about. So I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. And if you need any support on your journey, let me know. I help people, clear their blocks and traumas in 8 weeks. So if you have that time span, I don't know what kind of work you do or whatever, but if you have that time span and if you want to set aside just 8 weeks to train with me, one-on-one or two-on-one, depending on if you're an adept in the adepts program with myself and Ryan G, or if you want to do my program, which is a little bit more higher ticket, but it will get the job done, I guarantee you. There have been a lot of people who've already gone through it, so you can even ask them. Okay, I can give you their reference if you're kind of like trepidatious about it. However, yeah, that's the process. Okay, Flomo Sapien, 8 weeks. I used to have it for a longer time, but now I've noticed the 8-week approach very succinct practical, and effective. And that's what we're about on this channel. So let's get it today. Upward Spiral gang. May we never be the same again. Us, let's win. Boom.